everyone, welcome back to another video on Mana Sports Talk. We're going right into my power rankings for week 13 now. We're in week 13. We're coming down to the final stretch, guys. Got a couple more weeks left before we determine who makes the playoffs and who doesn't. This is where the teams separate themselves from the others and win their division. So we're going to see the best of the best right now. And let's get into my week 13 rankings. Got a couple of changes this week. Let's go right into it. The Chiefs are still my number one team this week. It was an unbelievable showdown that we saw between the Buccaneers and Chiefs in that primetime slot, even though it's not primetime. It was a nationally televised game on CBS, and we saw Tyreek Hill just absolutely destroy the Buccaneers, mostly in a record-breaking first quarter where he caught over 200 insane yards of catches, 200 yards.
Wow.
And 3 touchdowns eventually, but he caught 2 touchdowns in the first quarter, 200 yards. Unbelievable. He destroyed the Buccaneers defense because the Buccaneers defense had no plan to stop Tyreek for whatever reason. And Pat Mahomes and Tyreek took absolute advantage of that completely with a 75-yard bomb to start it off and then another 50-yard bomb. This duo is unbelievable. Tyreek Hill is right now the best wide receiver in the NFL. Patrick Mahomes is right now the MVP and the best player in the league. There's no doubt about it. 30 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Too good. 10-1 record. You're about to see the 75-yard bomb right now from Pat as he steps up over the middle, fires it way downfield. Hill turns around, he's got it, and he is gone. Throws up the deuces. See you later, Tyreek Hill. The speedster is gone to open it up 75 yards from Pat Mahomes. A bomb. So, pretty impressive there. And the defense was really good in the first half. Defensively, they were not too good in the second half because TB12 kind of lit him up then with 2 late touchdowns to make it a little bit close. But, you know, with Patrick Mahomes, nobody was worried. When I was watching it, I was like, hey, even if Tampa and Tom Brady make it close, there's no way Patrick's going to give the ball back to him, which is exactly what happened as Patrick was able to end the game with a couple of first downs. Very clutch of him as usual. But Tyreek Hill, he set records when it was one of the best single quarters of receiving you'll ever see in NFL history. Might have won you guys a couple of fantasy games if you had him. He scored about 57 points in fantasy, which is the most I've ever seen. Crazy. As there's another one with the backflip into the end zone. That was beautiful. But you'll never see anything that Tyreek Hill just did in that first quarter. It's going to be very rare to see that again, but with Patrick Mahomes at quarterback, it could definitely happen again. The story for that game was Tyreek Hill. The story for the Chiefs this week was Tyreek Hill taking it for 269 yards on 13 catches roughly and 3 touchdowns. Unbelievable performance from the Chiefs offense. They cooled down in the second half, but the damage was already done. You know, they're up 17-0, and that was the game. And the Chiefs just continue to roll on. You know, they're, again, huge favorites to win it all this year. What will you expect? I mean, their defense played a little bit better this week. Look for their defense to improve by each week. And here's 3rd and 8. The blitz coming. Pressure, Mahomes off the back foot. Hill, open again, he's got it. Breaks a tackle. And he walks in, flips into the end zone. It is 16-0. Another touchdown, Tyreek Hill. Having an amazing first quarter. Still the same. I know the Steelers haven't played yet, but I'm assuming they win because the Ravens are just riddled with COVID right now. And the Steelers should win tomorrow. They're still my number 2 team. Should be 11-0. Got the Vikings in at 16. They had a huge win, you know, beating the Panthers last second. Kirk Cousins to Chad Beebe. I think that was his name. He's supposed to be the son of Don Beebe, or am I getting the names mixed up? I have no idea, but anyway, the Vikings live on, and the Steelers are still there. Number 3 in the rankings, still the Saints. They keep winning, 8-game win streak. Keep winning with Taysom Hill as well. It was a very easy win against the Broncos. They didn't even have a quarterback. Saints at number 3, once again, like I've said, they just continue to march on, keep winning. You know, they're winning in many different ways. This game was kind of an outlier because, as you can see, the Broncos didn't even have a quarterback. They started Kendall Hinton, who did a tremendous job, you know, coming in as a last-minute replacement. He did his job, was able to step in, was willing to, in fact. It's a huge deal that way. Broncos really showed with heart, but the Saints are a really good team. To me, they're the top of the class in the NFC, the best team in the NFC. Their defense has really come to play these past few weeks. They've been playing exceptionally great. Marshawn Lattimore, Janoris Jenkins, and Malcolm Jenkins has been extraordinary now. You're looking at Malcolm Jenkins, who's played extremely well, and that's how the Saints defense goes, as Malcolm Jenkins goes. And they really stepped it up. And then once Drew Brees comes back, the Saints will be very strong favorites to go to the Super Bowl at the very least. Taysom Hill, you're looking at the future for the Saints. Very talented, exceptionally at his running ability. The Saints possess an extra dimension now with Taysom Hill running the ball. And then also the big emergence of Latavius Murray this week. Had over 100 yards rushing and a couple of touchdowns. So the 1-2 punch now, you could probably say, of Kamara and Latavius Murray could be good. The Latavius Murray train. That's the train that goes. And he was really good. And Alvin is always obviously great, an MVP candidate, honestly. But the Saints are a very balanced team. I really like what they're doing. They can win in many different ways and just very versatile in general. But number 4, the Packers are still there at number 4 with a big win. The Packers really isn't much to say for this week because they actually smoked the Bears, who are just terrible. 5-6, but really they're an even worse team. Probably like a 2-8 team. Really, that's what they are, or a 2-9 team. But whatever. Aaron Rodgers killed it like he normally does against the Bears. Packers offense went crazy, put up 41 points on Sunday Night Football. The Bears defense didn't have any chance, and the Packers ran their way through a couple of touchdowns to the tight ends. Devontae Adams, as usual, was a wide receiver number 1 for them. Aaron Jones, Jamal Adams, 1-2 punch. That Packer offense is really, really dangerous. You have to watch out for that with the bad man himself, Aaron Rodgers, leading the way. As you see, a touchdown, spectacular grab by Devontae Adams, opening touchdown. It was really good. The Packers, obviously you would have expected them to beat the Bears, which they did easily. But they haven't beaten a team with a winning record. That's what you need to look at. Can they beat a team with a winning record? A team that can actually do something like the Buccaneers, like the Colts. They need to beat a couple of those teams to really have the belief they can actually go really far this year. So number 5, Buffalo. The Buffalo Bills come in. It's pretty much my same top 5, and the Bills come in after a nice win over the Chargers at home. Yeah, so the Bills, really, really good team. I really think high of them. They're not getting as much attention as they deserve because they're not in the national spotlight that much. But now they'll be in the national spotlight because of Monday Night Football. But you got to look at the Bills. They're a very good team. Their defense hasn't played up to its totally level expectations, but I think they'll improve as they go on. And that Bills offense is looking really good. Josh Allen, tremendous development over the past year. He is playing like an MVP candidate up there in Buffalo. You have to look out for these Bills. They can go really far this year. And, they got another solid win over the Chargers, who are no joke, honestly, to beat. And they keep rolling on. They're 8-3. Number 6, got a change here. The Seattle Seahawks continuously move up in my rankings after playing well these past couple of weeks. The Seahawks, they're looking like, actually, I would say a favorite to win the NFC. No, I was about to say the NFC East, the NFC West. They are favorites to win it because they have the easiest schedule in the NFL right now, taking on the Giants, the Jets, the Redskins, the Washington football team. And, so it's looking pretty favorable for them. I think they should be 3 more wins. They'll get them to 11-3. And I think they should win the division. Their defense is the key. They have been playing better each and every week. I'd really want to talk about the acquisition of Carlos Dunlap from Cincinnati. That has been a huge step to this defense becoming better. They're able to actually generate some sort of pass rush. To me, their linebackers are very good. The secondary, not so much. But if they can get pressure, that eliminates the secondary's problems a little bit. Carlos Dunlap has tremendously helped them getting some sort of rush. And we saw that 6 sacks, obviously, against a weak Eagles offensive line. But the defense, they're coming to life a little bit. You can see it. And then obviously you got one of the best strong safeties in the league, Jamal Adams, the wrecker. He's all over the place. He's getting healthier. He's looking really good. The Seahawks defense is, if they get good, the Seahawks are going to be very, very hard to beat in the playoffs. Because once again, you have to let Russ cook like he always does. And DK Metcalf, what a beast, honestly. He is a monster. Whenever I see him, he's bigger, faster, stronger than anybody in the league. Nobody can cover this dude. And Russ keeps just going to him because that's what you need to do. And the Seahawks are benefiting tremendously off of it. As you see a sack there. A huge jump here. The Tennessee Titans are back up, way back up in my ranking, just like I want them to, because I think they're a really good team. After a beat up of the Colts, making a statement to the entire NFL, and was one of the moments of the week. Those Tennessee Titans, I've always thought very highly of this team. I keep telling you guys how highly I think of them. They'll come around. Speaking of Derrick Henry, who's on your screen, he was an absolute train wrecker. He was a locomotive, an absolute freight train running through the Colts defense. He had 140 yards, 3 touchdowns in the first half. Wow. One of the best rushing performances we have seen this year. Probably the best rushing performance we've seen this year. Tyreek Hill had the best receiving performance. And there goes Derrick Henry, as you can see, breaks a couple of tackles, jumps into the end zone, opening drive touchdown for those Titans. He had 3 of those in the first half. The Colts defense looked terrible, honestly. They looked terrible. They got absolutely destroyed by the Titans offensively. The Titans put up like 35 points on them in the first half only. That ended the game. Ryan Tannehill was very good, but it was all about Derrick Henry. A.J. Brown, once again, showing that big playmaking ability, can get a house call on any play like he did. That 69-yard touchdown run was unbelievable. I'm telling you, the Titans' offense is very, very good. Because once Derrick Henry starts going, they're almost impossible to stop. Because everybody loads the box to stop the King Henry. And then play action is lethal. With Ryan Tannehill, A.J. Brown, Corey Davis, Jonnu Smith, the usuals for the Titans. But defensively, the Titans played really good. They were able to stop Phillip Rivers and that Colts offense after the first quarter and a little bit of the second quarter. And, the Titans are really coming into themselves. There goes A.J. Brown down the middle, and he is gone. Goodbye, A.J. Brown, and the speed to go 69 yards to take the lead once again. A.J. Brown, an absolute playmaker. Incredible. But that Colts defense, Jeffrey Simmons, he's a great player for the Colts for the Titans in that pass rush of the Titans. Jeffrey Simmons is very good. And their secondary, Kevin Byard, Desmond King, it's getting better. And the Titans defense is slowly getting better. They're a pretty solid defense. And offensively, Derrick Henry was going to lead them. And I think the Titans just took control of the AFC South. And they should be the division champ. 10 in the red zone. Give it to Henry. Cuts back again. Fakes it and finds his way into the end zone. The 3rd touchdown for Derrick Henry. You can crown him today. He has dominated the Colts defense. Another one. At number 8, the LA Rams, they moved down after, honestly, a disappointing performance against the 49ers, which tells you that in division games, anybody can win. A little bit disappointing here for the Rams. I really don't know what to say about them, but what I do know is that their defense is the best in the league, according to me. I think they are the best defense, obviously the best pass defense, and with Aaron Donald and company, they are the best defense, according to me, and that what can lead them to a championship at 7-4. The problem is, I don't know what really to say about their offense. They're so streaky, they're so up and down, unpredictable. You really don't know what to expect out of them, and it all starts with Jared Goff. When he has to, I think Sean McVay needs to put him as a game manager. He really needs to put him in as that game manager type quarterback. He turns the ball over way too much. He's not giving his team a chance, and he's making his defense work way too hard. It shouldn't be like this. Jared Goff is turning the ball over way too much. He needs to just give it in short passes, let his playmakers run after catch, do that rack yardage. Robert Woods, Cooper Kupp, give it to his running backs, get some open receivers off play action. That's what needs to happen for the Rams. If they do that, they can go extremely far. Number 9 got the Indianapolis Colts, who suffered a brutal loss to the Titans in a key divisional matchup and were frankly embarrassed by Derrick Henry. You know, they really frankly got embarrassed at home by the Titans. They got destroyed, completely dismantled. Their defense looked terrible. Derrick Henry ran through them. A.J. Brown had a huge plays. And really, if you think about it, they're kind of back to square one, because you're like, hey, our defense did nothing. Our offense did practically nothing. What do we do? But they don't need to think of it that way. Defensively, they've been great. This might have been an outlier game, and unfortunately, it might have cost them the division. But they'll get in, I think, as a wildcard team. Their defense really has to play better, like they used to before the past, 10 weeks, like they've played before. And offensively, they did not look too good. The Titans' defense played much better than them. And the past couple of weeks, the Colts' offense did play well. We need to get back to that formula. Number 10, the Arizona Cardinals have continuously moved down these past 2 weeks. Honestly, I was very surprised they lost to the Patriots. I think very highly of this team, and hopefully they can come back. Like I've said before, I really like the Cardinals for whatever reason. I think they're special. They haven't showed it the past 2 weeks. I don't really know what to say. I was saying before that their defense needs to step up. Well, their defense has stepped up, and then it's the offense who hasn't showed up. Kyler has not been really good. He's put up 2. This performance against the Patriots is really bad. He didn't even have a passing touchdown. They lost on a game-losing field goal. They did not put up anything really offensively. I think it's time to take Kyler out of the MVP race. He is not really... This kind of performance is just not good. And the Cardinals have lost 2 games in a row. I think they'll bounce back. I think they're a really good team. They'll definitely bounce back from this. They definitely should win a couple. Their defense has improved. If the offense can get back to its level, starting with DeAndre Hopkins, giving the ball to him more, letting him, get some more catches. Larry Fitzgerald will come back, and, I think they'll be fine. Just a couple of bumps in the road here and there. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, very hyped team. They lost to the Chiefs, losing another big game. Buccaneers, they're one of the most hyped teams this year for a reason. They have the most talent, pretty much out of any team besides the Chiefs, you could say. But what do you say about them? Defensively, they've been terrible defending the pass. I don't know what kind of game plan that was against Tyreek Hill. Single man coverage against Tyreek Hill. Are you crazy? Anyway, they're able to do a much better job in the second half. The defense played really great. You have to give it to them in the second half. In the first quarter, the defense got completely destroyed. But as you see here, they get a fumble. That was a huge turning point in the game. That front 4 is really important for the Buccaneers' chances. And then that man, Tom Brady, he did nothing, really. In the first quarter, he did nothing. And the Chiefs went up to a 17-0 lead. And then that was that. He had 3 drives, nothing happened, all errant throws, all bad throws, nothing was good. In the second half he was good, but I think it was a little bit too late, honestly. He should have done that earlier. And then, Mahomes just ends it saying that, hey, you're not going to get a chance. I'm not going to give you the ball back. This was a great play by Ronald Jones. Rojo had a great game. This was good. But against the Chiefs defense who's not that good, you put up 0 points in the first quarter. That is not really that good. And then Tom Brady had 2 interceptions as well. One was a terrible throw. The other one was hit out of somebody's helmet. That is just nonsense, honestly. I don't know how you hit somebody in the helmet like that. Look, I know all these guys on Fox, CBS, NBC. They're never going to blame Tom Brady because that's what they're going to do. Tom Brady's a national figure that a lot of people like, and they're just not gonna, blame him or anything. But honestly, he is at fault. Yes, some of the fault is on the Buccaneers defense, but they held the Chiefs to only 27 points. that is extraordinary, honestly. Holding the Chiefs to under 30 points is really good. And that generally should be enough because it's not like the Chiefs' defense is so good or something. I think the Buccaneers' defense did really good in the second half, double teaming Kelsey and Tyreek Hill. They obviously could have done much, much better in the first quarter, but still, I thought they did okay. Offensively, they should have done much more. Brady, he didn't do anything in the first quarter, and then by that time, it was too late. People want to blame Bruce Arians. It's not his fault all the time. It goes on Brady also. He's delivered some inaccurate balls and some interceptions. The Buccaneers, they beat in all the bad teams. They beat in a couple of good teams like the Packers, but, we're just not really sure of them. But honestly, I think they will get their act together. They'll start performing better. We could see that in the second half. Brady was sort of commanding the troops there. Mike Evans had 2 touchdowns. It was really good to see that. But yeah, the Buccaneers, they really need to, figure out what they want to do on offense. I'm just not sure. Offensively. Defensively, they're best at stopping the run. We already know that. And they need to have a better game plan like they did in the second half. Number 12, the Cleveland Browns. A little bit of a scare on Sunday, but they're able to get the win over the Jacksonville Jaguars, who played pretty well with Mike Glennon as their QB. But Baker Mayfield finally scored some passing touchdowns. And the Browns keep rolling. 8-3 now. Amazing. So the Browns, they're not pretenders, they're contenders, okay? They're able to pass the ball this week. Obviously, it was against Jacksonville, but still, they're 8-3. They can run the ball. They have a good defense. Myles Garrett is coming back. You have to actually think of the Browns, for the first time in a long time. You have to think of them. They can actually win a playoff game, maybe. So, number 13, the Ravens, who have been severely riddled with the coronavirus. Hopefully next week when they play the Cowboys, they'll have Lamar Jackson back and a whole bunch of players. They'll easily beat the Cowboys, honestly, but they're probably not going to beat the Steelers. Too many players out. 13, the Oakland Raiders, one of the biggest surprises this week. A huge blowout. Frankly, an embarrassing loss. Laid an egg against the Atlanta Falcons. They got smoked by the Falcons. The Raiders, 1 week they almost beat the Chiefs. The next week they get destroyed, embarrassed, lay a huge egg against the Atlanta Falcons, who are not really too good. But you've got to give the Falcons some credit. Raheem Morris, their interim head coach, he's been great. They're actually playing like the team they're supposed to be before. This was the team that was expected to do pretty good, They started off terrible, and this is the team they're expected to be, beat some good teams here and there, have a really good offense, have a flying defense, and the Falcons are finally doing it. So, about time for them. But Vegas, I don't know what to really expect from Vegas. I don't know what to expect from Vegas. By the way, I know there's a huge mistake in my rankings. I've been saying the Oakland Raiders for the past 10 weeks. So sorry about that. It's the Vegas Raiders. I know that. I said Vegas, so just wondering. I know. I'm going to fix it. But Derek Carr looked terrible. 4 turnovers, 3 forced fumbles, 1 interception. Josh Jacobs did not have any kind of game at all, and their offense went down from there, as you can see, a fumble. Derek Carr has to be better. He has to maintain possession of the ball, cannot turn it over. Josh Jacobs has to be good, and then Darren Waller has to get involved. None of that happened. That's why they got smoked. And so the Dolphins, they played the Jets. They got another win. They're 7-4. Another, a magical season by the Dolphins so far. Ryan Fitzpatrick came in. He had a pretty good game. Once again, I think the Dolphins can sneak in to the playoffs. I really do. They have a really, really good defense and special teams. One of the best coaching you'll see. They can, never know, they might actually win a playoff game. Who knows if their defense plays well. But I think they can make the playoffs, And they've had a great season, making it happen with Fitzpatrick and Tua. Maybe Tua comes back. You never know. I'm putting the Vikings here. Offensively, they have tremendous potential. Adam Thielen was on the COVID list this week, but Justin Jefferson probably might win the Rookie of the Year. And then Kirk Cousins has been actually pretty good, although he had a couple of turnovers, and one was pretty bad. He literally just, I don't know what he did. He fumbled it, just gave it kind of to the Panthers and Jeremy Chin had 2 touchdowns. On defense, Justin Jefferson doing the gritty there, pretty nice. But the Vikings are good. Their offense is really good. I think get Dalvin Cook going and they're dangerous. But defensively, they're not really too good, middle of the pack, I guess. But the Panthers really gave them all they got, and the Panthers would have won if a Joey Sly missed field goal from 54 yards. Kirk Cousins cannot turn the ball over. That was just a bad turnover. Dalvin Cook didn't really have any sort of impact, really. But yeah, getting Adam Thielen back will be big for them. And they're 5-6. They're still in it. That's the end of the video here. Please go down, hit the like button, subscribe to my channel for all your NFL content, such as picks, power rankings, reactions, analysis. Everything for the NFL is here. Go down, subscribe. NBA is coming soon. This will also be your channel for all NBA content as well. Please go down, subscribe, enable the bell icon so you can get all notifications for my channel. And yeah, thanks for watching. Hope you made it this far. And thanks for all the support. And I hope to see you in the next video.